that you want to talk about the drones, I'll say this. I do believe that it is part of a larger movement for people to understand that we are not alone in the universe. This Luigi thing is not the last. I see that there's a great deal of tension rising in people. Very interesting to see. I think it's going to happen with this administration and the appointment of who is heading up health, though for some people it's controversial. I feel very good about it.
We are back with part 2 of our conversation with the incredible Riz Mirza. We are diving much deeper into what 2025 has in store for us this year, what's coming for us as a collective, how we get to prepare ourselves, and how we can make the most of it. So Riz is going to offer some tools and practices to help us stay grounded through this next year and make it the most of, or make the most of it that we are hoping for. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Riz. All
Happy
right,
to be
Riz.
here. What a year. A year ago, starting out where I was predicting who was going to be that Trump was going to win. Okay, he wins. And
Mm-hmm.
now we're here at the end of the year with drones flying around, people having crushes on somebody who murdered someone in broad daylight in Manhattan.
And
Hello.
glorifying,
Yeah,
glorifying
yeah,
him.
yeah.
What's going on?
Well,
And
Chris,
by the way, please don't tell me we don't know what's going on with these drones, as if,
yeah,
to
they
quote the
know.
great Reese Witherspoon,
Oh, really?
as if,
That's
right?
right.
Was it her? Shit.
Okay.
I don't even know. It was from that movie. One of them said it.
All right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So look, as far as that, you want to talk about the drones.
Let's talk drones.
All right, the drones. I don't want to drone on about it,
Ha.
but I'll say this. I will say this. Of course, they know. Um, Not the people who are saying they don't know. They actually
Yeah.
don't know. But
Yeah. Like the governor of New Jersey has
yeah,
no
I will
clue.
say, yeah, of course, he doesn't really know. But I will say this. I do believe that it is part of a larger movement for people to understand that we are not alone in the universe. During COVID, it was conveniently released the information that UFOs are real, that there have been black budget projects for alien crash retrieval programs, that we have the biologics. It's been on TV, people.
Wait, they have
On
found actual aliens and researched them?
Now, here's what's amazing that you, who are so aware of so many things, just go to YouTube and see the Senate congressional hearings that have been going on for 6 months.
I have seen some, and they do say that they're aware of the UFOs, but I've not heard that they've actually found crashes.
Yes. Okay. So if you watch the hearings, this is an incredible moment in history where I think she's in Congress or Senate. Macy is her name. She's asking one of the whistleblowers, who is a verified military, actual legit person. His name is David. And she says, so we have UAPs recovered? And he goes, yes, ma'am.
A UAP is
An unidentified aerial phenomenon, also known as a flying saucer, basically.
okay.
UFOs are now called UAPs.
Okay.
So she goes, these are of extraterrestrial origin. He leans forward. He goes, yes, ma'am. Under oath in the congressional hearing. Okay, now then she says, well, I assume that these ships were piloted by beings. He leans forward. He goes, yes, ma'am. She goes, are these beings human or non-human? Without missing a beat, he leans forward. He goes, non-human, ma'am. Under oath in our government, happening in front of you on television, on C-SPAN. You can watch this, look it up on YouTube. This has been happening for 6 months, and most people don't even know. So it's already confirmed that this has been going on since back for 60 years. Not once, but many crashes have happened. So this is just now a matter of time. I've been saying for years, disclosure about the alien reality is going to happen. The extraterrestrial reality is going to happen in our lifetime. It's already started. There will be more disclosure under this next administration. And that's a good thing, because I think that the number one thing that we need to know as human beings is we are not alone in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's number one, because what that leads to is now you're in a community. You are in a much larger reality than you ever understood before, ever believed before. And it's going to make you question the nature of your beliefs. And it should. That's how
But
change
these
happens.
these drones, Riz, I
They're
had
not
this
aliens.
weird, yeah, I know. So I'm gonna tell you, I had this weird feeling the other day. This weird feeling came over me, and I was like, oh, this feels like the next 9/11. This
Oh,
feels like
mm,
when people were sounding the alarms saying, hey, there are these people on planes and they're doing weird shit and we're freaked
right.
out and they're trying to
Yeah.
sound the alarms
Mm,
and nobody did anything. This feels like that to me. And I am pretty intuitive.
yeah.
And so I never discount my feelings because I was like, no, and this is even more obvious.
So there is, here's what I'm feeling about it, that this is actually part of kind of a little of a test to see, well, how are people going to react to anomalous objects in the sky? Let's see. Because before you put it out there to everyone that, hey, first of all, it's already out there that aliens and crash retrievals and we have alien bodies. It's already out there in front of the Senate, in front of the Congress with legitimate whistleblowers. Read a book called Imminent by Luis Elizondo. It's on the New York Times bestseller list for the last several months. Okay, it's called Imminent. So this is going to happen. I do believe that the drones have to do with, it's called kind of like testing the waters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see how people
Oh,
react to this.
it's like a compliance thing. It's like COVID. Let's see if they'll
Yeah, it's
all just sit in their house and comply.
right. Okay, so that's what's happening. Now, if this ultimately is about us understanding and realizing that we are not alone here in this galaxy or in this universe, then that's a good thing. I'm all for change. Things needed to be shaken up. So whether people believe that COVID was real, not real, created by the government, created by China, created by the universe, wasn't a real at all, no matter what you believe, you can rely on this little bit of offering I'm giving to you is that as a consciousness, we all created the phenomenon of COVID. We all created the phenomenon of all of these things happening because the purpose of being a so-called human being on Earth, why do I say so-called? Because that's the word we just came up with. We're just spiritual beings. The reason why we are here is to evolve to the next place that we're going. Okay. And in this school of creation called Earth, we are going to create all sorts of parts to the curriculum for us to expand. And this is part of that expansion. I don't ever come from any fear about anything that happens ultimately. And I advise people, earlier you said, who do we listen to? Here's who I don't listen to. I don't listen to channelers, psychics, mediums, healers, anyone that comes from a fear-based philosophy. What are you afraid of? Dying? The planet exploding? Okay, let's say that you are afraid of the planet exploding and dying. What do you think happens after? Now we have to go to what your beliefs are. For me, we are pure consciousness. We will be in another dimension experiencing that reality. As a medium, I will tell you, I've never met a person on the other side who was not happy.
Hmm.
It is a level of joy that is almost unfathomable. And many people who've had near death experiences will tell you.
Yep.
Okay, so no, they don't, our loved ones don't miss us on the other side. Why? Because they see us. We miss them because we don't see them. They are what they can click and watch a TV show of us, so to speak, meaning they can see us here. They're not supposed to be here because they have another part of their experience as a living being to experience, which is called the other side. We're supposed to still be here. So they don't miss us like we miss them. People ask me, do they miss me? And I go, no, they don't, because they can see you.
Yeah.
If you could see where they were, you wouldn't miss them the same. So I don't come from fear based ever or doomsday because I go, well, tell me what the doomsday is. Because I'm already not afraid of dying. So what's the doomsday? The world is going to be enslaved. What, you think the world's not enslaved now?
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Do you really know? So if you really know, you have all the facts and the authorities and you know the inside information, guess what? There'll be more inside information after that. So how deep down this rabbit hole do you want to go? It's not that you're going
So,
to be ignorant. It's just how deep do you want to go? So you want to
yeah.
go, I'm going all the way. So if the planet explodes, where are you going to be?
Well, the planet explodes, we're all going down together.
Okay, but where will you be? Where are you going down to? Where are you? You
Yeah.
have a belief in the afterlife, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're all going to be there. Do you think it's going to suck?
Nope.
No, it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so what are you worried about planet Earth for?
Yeah.
Because we're here now. Oh,
Okay, but we are here now. So
okay, so
what are we
slow down.
thinking?
Okay,
What are
so
we feeling about these drones?
let's talk about it. What I feel about the Jones is
Are they
the drones.
nefarious?
No, they're not nefarious. They're not like they're not coming from another country trying to spy on us. They don't need to do that to spy on us. They can do it in many, many other ways. I believe that this is a slow feeling out. It is a testing out. It is of how the public responds to things.
Mm.
But that's what I think is going on. And I think that if you've ever dealt with hey Maria, have you ever dealt with the public? Hey, everybody who's watching, even if you're not a well-known personality like Maria or anybody else that you like out there, have you ever dealt with the public? Have you ever worked in Burger King? That was my first job when I was 16. I dealt with the public. If you are in any job, whether you are a personality in the media or you work at Burger King, you deal with the public. And we all know, those of you watching who have ever dealt with the public, that they can be out of their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And they will take you down in a second if they can, or lift you up if they can. So we all know it, what it was like going to school and being in the playground. There were bullies, there were people who were out of their minds, there were liars, there were sociopaths, there were nice people, and you're in the mix. So I would say that as we talk right now, we're about to jump into more predictions for 2025.
Mm-hmm.
I would say this: keep a cool head, my brothers and sisters. Keep a cool internal temperature reading on yourself. Learn how to stay cool. Don't let things ignite you. You are here to be ignited by the spark of wisdom and truth, love and inspiration for yourself and those around you. You're not here to burn in your anger or your suspicions or your fear. That is not why you are here in this reality. So do your body, your spirit, your heart a favor and those who are around you a favor and let that go. Because you want to get into nefarious things, it's just never going to end. You
Oh,
look for
you're so
nefarious,
right.
we'll find it. Go down the street. Just look for it. You'll start to see it. What about if you start looking for innocence, love, magic? If you're sensitive, you will find it too. So somebody asked me recently, so Riz, when all the shit goes down, where are you going to be? Are you going to like move to Maui or Kauai or somewhere like where are you going to go? I said, what makes you think I'm going to run from the eye of the storm? I'm going to go where I'm needed. What? That's my thing. I don't know. That's my truth. So when I come into the new year, and I don't know if this is going to be on after the new year.
It is, yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully you guys on New Year's you didn't curse out 2024. You thanked it and blessed it, and you welcomed 2025. That's the best way to do anything. Thank it and bless it, but really mean it, and then you can welcome in the new. So 2025, I want to go topic by topic if you want. We can talk about different topics in life. We can talk about science, politics, government, media, entertainment, medicine. Where do you want to talk?
I have so many things I want to talk about.
Let's go down the list.
I'm going to take a quick break.
Me too.
When we come back, we're going down the list. Okay, before we get into those predictions, topic by topic, happy 2025, everybody. If you received a Macy's gift card this holiday season, we hope to see you soon. We're still in the holiday spirit and ready to help you kick off the new year with amazing deals at Macy's. Whether you've got a few last minute gifts to grab or you want to treat yourself, Macy's has you covered. From winter essentials to those must have items you've been eyeing, Macy's has unbeatable prices online and in stores. So why wait? Head to Macy's.com or swing by your local Macy's store to snag everything on your list and maybe something for yourself as well. Let's start 2025 with a gift for ourselves. Enjoy, friends. Okay. What topic are you feeling first?
Actually, the topic that I'm feeling first is food and agriculture.
Mm.
One of the things that I predicted in the last 2 years, and I think it's very interesting to see. I think it's going to happen with this administration and the appointment of who is heading up health. Though for some people it's controversial, I feel very good about it. And I feel that it is a person who's going to shake things up in a very good way. The tree needs to be shaken in a dramatic way. It's not going to be done in a way that everybody thinks it's perfect. You need somebody to come in there who is just unafraid and is going to shake things up, and more good will come out of it by far than bad. And so that appointment of Kennedy is going to be excellent in terms of shaking up the tree in something that has been needing to be shaken up for a long time. I've been saying it for years. Someone is going to come along and have what it takes, the brute force necessary to break down barriers. And that's what's necessary. Look, when you want to build a road through the mountain pass, let's say in LA, from the valley to, Santa Monica or the beach or Malibu, you had to come in with dynamite first. You're not coming in with white paint to dot the street and put little picket fences. First, dynamite, blow it up,
Mm-hmm.
and clear out the rubble, then start to build the road. Dynamite is just important as a tool as the white paint for the road. So that I have been seeing coming. I do see a couple of wonderful advancements in AI when it comes to food and agriculture, surprisingly. They're tied into healing and medicine. Many people are afraid of artificial intelligence and the doomsday scenarios that they present themselves with when it comes to that topic. What I see very powerfully is I see that the AI is going to form new understandings and pathways of how to actually do surgeries. I see that happening. I'm not one, I don't, by the way, guys, I don't read up on anything as a psychic. I try not to read up on things because I want to feel into just the general topics. So hopefully that's already happening. If it's not, look for it. Um, Understanding also, AI is going to also help major cities and their congestion in traffic. I see AI helping to figure out ways, just like those maps and ways and navigation
Yeah.
systems, how to redirect traffic and where to create new roads that will eliminate the congestion that people feel all the time driving through cities. We're just used to it. We don't even think it's a major problem, but it certainly is a problem. And we
Mm-hmm.
want to day to day, we want to feel infrastructure change. So AI I see helping a great deal in the areas of medicine and allowing that technology to really be a kind of, you have to let it be experimented with, because I find it's going to find these solutions where we have been unable to find it. The whole principle of AI is to be unencumbered by the human things that were fallible, right? It's not doesn't not come from an emotional place. We will bring the emotion into it where it's needed. We'll bring the heart into it where it's needed. But I see that not only affecting medicine, the supplement industry, meaning all about how all medicines are made and distributed. I see that AI is going to, I want to say streamline, but I also want to say help us take a new look at how we are doing physical surgeries on people. And some of these devices and machines are going to do it so precisely, down to like the nerves. Very, very intricate surgeries I see happening with AI.
Ooh,
And what's
that would be
incredible,
great.
oh yeah, it's going to also be done from another country. You'll be able to do it.
Wow. So the
So
brain tumor that I have that's really, really wrapped around this very, very specific nerve will be able
yes,
to be handled.
yes, yes. So
Yay.
where a human
I've
hand
been
won't be
waiting
able
for
to do it,
that.
it's going to be able. So they're going to map the brain. They're going to understand exactly where your brain is or the patient's brain is and do that. So I feel that very powerfully. I also am seeing in the area a resurgence or a new approach to stem cells. I see that they're going to find how to receive the stem cell. Now, those of you who are medically trained, forgive me because as a psychic, I'm speaking not exactly medical terms. So just like do the translation in your own head of what I'm giving you the message about. I feel like a lot of those stem cells aren't being received by the body. So we're going to see a new way. I see what's coming forward is there's going to be a great breakthrough in how the stem cells are going to be bioavailable for each person. And this is really funny because earlier you talked about me shaving my head, but I thought about all the guys there who couldn't grow their hair. They're going to cure baldness.
This year?
Yeah, by within a year, maybe to give or take a few months, but the
No
breakthrough will
way.
happen in 2025.
Wow. My husband's going to be so excited. My dad's going to be so excited. Every
Oh
man
yeah,
is going to be so
they're going to be
excited.
able to like,
Every
rival.
woman too, because women have hair loss issues too.
Exactly. Yeah, Kevin will be able to join Bon Jovi. It's going to grow. But I see the breakthrough happening in 2025. Doesn't mean that the thing will be available in 2025,
Okay.
which is going to cause a lot of stir, right? It's going to suddenly, you talk about you want to make some money, cure baldness. But
Yeah.
I never thought that was going to come up. In my meditation, which I've been doing in the last several days for this show, that came through. So I wanted to just share that with you. Um, another interesting thing that has been coming up is I see a fall away from cosmetic surgery. I see that business dropping, not advancing. Whether that makes people happy or sad, that's not what I'm giving the message about.
Like actual surgery or even the cosmetic procedures like Botox and stuff.
Yes, the procedures, I just see that the industry is going to decline, meaning it made a certain amount of money and it's going to drop quite a bit in terms of the amount of people willing to do it.
Hmm.
A lot of this has to do with the energy that Gen Z is bringing to the table, which is, look, they're born into a time where everything was about the selfie, you know, and that kind of pressure that has been put on them, even they've put on themselves and they know it. But what I see, what's going to be really wonderful with Gen Z out there is that their sensitive nature, as they become very more developed in understanding how to use that sensitivity, that great sensitivity that they have, is going to truly benefit the coming generations because they want every voice to be heard and they have to work it out like we always have to work it out, right? How to use it but not abuse it, right? So they have their own thing to deal with. But I see a lot of great emotional advancement happening in the areas of people getting help that they need with mental health. And they're great proponents of that. And I think that they had to come and make a stir and make a stand in all the social issues that they feel powerfully about, whether other people agree or not. The point is that, again, the trees had to be shaken.
Hmm.
And that's what's happening there.
So with the cosmetic surgery, are you saying that there's going to be more self-acceptance
Yes.
that's going to
Yes.
occur?
Thank you for putting it that
Yeah.
way. Greater self
Yeah.
acceptance. There'll still be, of course, cosmetic surgery, but I do feel that it is the extremes that we are now over the tipping point of the extremes of it. And we are stepping into a new level of authenticity for the coming centuries. It's going to be about authenticity and people relaxing about um, the aggression with which they put their points across with. It's now coming to, hey, look, this is how we're coming to the table and offering. I see a softening in a good way of how we talk about things. Not that we're like trying to take care of each other or be super nice or brush it under the rug. What I'm saying is there's a greater picture involved. This ties into what the worldview is. That is why the whole alien thing has to also happen. So everybody goes, "Oh, you just took me from being inside a room to my mind is now open." Like when the planetarium like roof opens to see the stars.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. And people are like, "Wait a second, I'm worried about this," but meanwhile, there's a much larger reality happening. Let me relax and talk about things. And it's been a
I
long.
want to interview the first alien. I hope that they can
What
speak
if we find out
English.
you're the alien? That would be the big surprise. This whole time, you're like, yeah, that's why I've been having all this trouble with this human body. I'm not, God, I gotta go be back to my, 9 foot self.
Can you imagine?
I do imagine things like that. And I say, why not? It's one of my biggest things. Instead of asking why, ask why not.
Hmm.
This is how you'll get further. Okay, so I see that happening in that industry. Interesting industry that I see rising. When I earlier was talking about food and agriculture, I don't see the rise of organic farming. Everybody wants to hear that. What I do see is the absolute lessening of the chemicals that are being used in commercial farming. These commercial farms are not going to just suddenly turn organic, but we are going to see the elimination of great deal of pesticides, great deal of artificial everything. It has to be.
Hmm.
Also, I see a great deal of advancement in the areas of OCD and ADHD diagnosis with regards to diet and certain supplements that are going to, if I were to name some supplements that I think are going to be used a lot more in this area, one of them is NAC, N-acetylcysteine, I think is how you pronounce it. So look that up. And I see that as very important for the behavior of all of us. I do see a um, greater understanding and usage properly of psychedelic medicine. I see that that is going to change the face of mental health in a very natural and important way. We have neurologists, psychiatrists, psychologists, and holistic healers out there who are going to join forces because the epidemic of, you know, those drugs will be, solved with more ancient practices. And I think those of you who are out there already know about it. Just research what John Hopkins has been doing for several years. Imperial College of London, University of South Florida. These are great institutions that are going to be on the forefront of that movement. I do see that it's going to reduce depression on a great deal. There's a lot of great news, I'm telling you, because it's time.
Hmm.
I'm just not like, I don't consider myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to only tell you good news. Well, I'm just going to tell you the news that I see happening. Also, you go, well, what's the bad news? Well, I don't consider it bad. I just call it challenging. So here's where the challenging is. Um, this Luigi thing is not the first, not the last, excuse me. I see that there's a great deal of tension rising in people, and that tension is deeper than most people realize. There's a tendency in the human nature when sometimes when people feel powerless to go to the extreme, and that's what's happening. And it had to happen in the area. As awful as it was, I have to look into why did it happen in this guy and then that person who got murdered. What is it saying? Is there a message here? Well, it certainly is sending a message about our how people are feeling about whether we are being taken care of or not properly. And this was, if you study how energy works, it's almost like a collective consciousness creates these events to happen, where these two opposing forces must explode in some event. Uh, I do see that. There's going to be a great deal of challenge politically for this incoming president in terms of international relations. I do not see that he's going to be getting the results he felt he was going to get. I do believe that anyone who's in there is for the evolution of the country. So I don't ever give my personal opinions. In fact, I don't really have personal opinions. If I personally like someone or no, what am I basing it on? I don't know them personally. I'm basing it on what everybody else says. But we're all human. We might like I like this woman, I like this man. Who knows? I don't. I keep my personal opinions out of it. I'm just telling you. I see a bigger challenge for him internationally than he thought there was going to be. Because I
With
see.
China or Russia?
Yes, yes,
Both.
yes, um,
Yeah.
including the Middle East. So what he's dealing with is people who've in those countries and the Middle East who feel very powerfully about their stance, and no one is giving up their position. So he's dealing with that energy, and they could turn on him, meaning that people who he thought were his friends are going to show that we are not your friends. And if you've dealt with that in your own personal life, like we all have, it
Mm-hmm.
creates quite a ruckus. Okay, so that I see. I do
Ooh, I
see.
just got chills.
Yeah,
Ooh, I got deep chills. So does that does that and create a war that we're going to have to
yeah,
deal with, like
yeah.
World War III? All right, friends, we are pausing again because Riz shared so many predictions with us. I had a lot of questions that I needed answers to. So, split this conversation into 3 parts. Up next, he gets into what we can expect in foreign politics, what natural disaster might be coming soon, and the future of Bitcoin. Plus, he shared his predictions for Heal Squad. We'll see you guys on the next one. In the meantime, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.